A mad sorcerer chased a woman as she ran for her life. An ancient warrior suddenly jumped out of a statue and saved her. Even though the woman was scared, the warrior insisted they were related. The story starts in an otherwise quiet village. Around the Mo family house, a group of angry people gathered. Sasha, who lived in the house, was told about the noise. People wanted money because her brother-in-law, Xiaoyu, had destroyed their property and had been missing since the morning. Sasha talked to all the villagers and gave them money to make up for what they had lost. Xiaoyu was looking for a wild animal at the same time. He was able to knock it down, but then it woke up and ran at him. After that, there was a fierce battle, and it looked like Xiaoyu was losing, but he used his foot to stop the beast. When things looked terrible, a mysterious man came out of nowhere, grabbed the beast from behind, and strangled it to death. Instead of being thankful, Xiaoyu cried because he had been looking for the beast for months. He asked the man for money, but the man got mad because he thought it was a trick. But the man's uncle came and gave Xiaoyu the money. The older adult told him they were looking for his brother Motai, but Xiaoyu pretended he didn't know him. He grabbed the animal and ran away. When the man saw how strong Xiaoyu was, he was surprised. The older adult thought that Xiaoyu must be from the Mo family. When Xiaoyu got home at night, Sasha put medicine on his wounds and rubbed it on him. She told him that the animal was dangerous, but he told her it was an essential part of the medicine she was making. Later, he told Sasha that 2 people were looking for his brother. Sasha remembered that Tai had written them and given him the letter. When Xiaoyu put the letter into a device that worked like a projector, his brother showed up and told him he was going to the capital to help the king. He told Xiaoyu to work hard at school and keep the Mo family home safe while he was away. When Xiaoyu went to sleep, we went to the present and met a girl named Xin. When she got a phone call, she discovered something new about the Quan dynasty. She quickly got ready and left. She met her senpai, Ling, and he took her to an ancient tomb that had just been found. Back in the old timeline, Sasha was taken to the capital by a soldier. They seemed to be up to no good, but Sasha didn't make a fuss and went with them anyway. This was too much for Xiaoyu, so she went after them. He attacked the soldiers and got into a fierce fight with them. He beat most of them, but the captain quickly beat him and took him as prisoner. Sasha begged the captain to be kind to her, and Xiaoyu begged to go to the capital with them. When the captain discovered that Xiaoyu was also a Mo, he brought him along. The mysterious man and his uncle watched from the top of a mountain. They were sad that they had come too late to help. The next day, Xiaoyu and Sasha saw how enslaved people were brutally treated and forced to work for the Quan Empire. This was a terrible thing to see. Then, they met the ruler of the Quan, who was also the king. When the emperor meets with his ministers, they tell him they have perfected his elixir of life. The king gets excited and tells them to give it to him immediately so he can live another 1,000 years. But the king quickly realizes that the elixir is a fake, and he orders that all the ministers be killed brutally. When that happens, we know that Xiaoyu's brother Tai, who made the elixir, will be brought into the palace. Xiaoyu is thrilled to see his brother, but he soon finds out that Tai is being held as an enslaved person. Tai begs the king to let his family go, but he says he will test his elixir on his wife first. Tai begs to be the one to take it, but the king still needs him to build his tomb. Sasha accepts her fate, but Xiaoyu knocks her out and begs to be the one to try the elixir. The king agrees and tells Tai to turn his brother into a terracotta statue after he takes the elixir. Back at the excavation site, Xin and Ling are looking around. They are drawn to a huge armor suit and admire how it was made. Xin looks at the helmet, and as soon as she does, its eyes flash, and Ling is gone. Xin tries to find him, but the lights go out, and a man in a hood comes up to her. The man is also interested in the armor. He says his name is Kiran and that he is a treasure hunter. Xin can tell he is lying, so she distracts him and kicks him in the nuts. She takes the helmet off the armor and tries to escape, but Ling is already out. She tries to hide and calls for help, but no one can hear her. Kiran's monkey finds her. Kiran uses magic to attack and destroys statues while Xin runs away. He gets her in a corner and tells her to give him the helmet, but Xin throws it away. Kiran is angry and tries to kill her, but Xiaoyu wakes up at that moment, grabs his arm, and blows him away. Xiaoyu thinks of Sasha when he sees Xin. He gets close to her, but she's scared and begs him to leave. Kiran stands back up, happy that the stories about the elixir of life were true. He wants to see if Xiaoyu is immortal, so he jumps at him with magic, but Xiaoyu is strong enough to stop it. When some police officers show up, they have to stop. Kiran's monkey quickly takes the helmet, and they leave. Xin tries to avoid Xiaoyu, but he holds her hand because he thinks she is Sasha. They are taken to the police station, where Xin tries to explain herself, but the officers believe that Xiaoyu is Xin's uncle. After all of the formalities are over, Xiaoyu eats a huge meal. He tries to talk to Xin, but she ignores him and runs into the crowd. Xiaoyu follows her and tries to get her to listen to him. Xin tries to get away in a taxi, but Xiaoyu rips off the door by accident, causing the taxi to crash. This only leads to another trip to the police, and this time Xiaoyu is suspected of having a strange relationship with Shin. A lawyer comes bails Shin out, but she doesn't like her dad sending her help. On the other hand, Xiaoyu is put in a cell where he meets a group of bad guys who tried to show him who's in charge. This turns out to be a big mistake since Xiaoyu easily beats them all. They say they're sorry to him a lot. Xiaoyu says that he needs to find Sasha, but when they tell him he's locked up, Xiaoyu uses his magic to escape, which surprises everyone while the other prisoners are held responsible. Xiaoyu searches the whole city for Shin, and when he finally finds her, he collapses into her arms and falls asleep. The next thing he knows, he is in Shin's apartment. After a short time of looking, he finds her in the bathroom, but it's an awkward meeting. Shin, of course, goes crazy, and she tells Xiaoyu that he is peeping on her. She tells him that she is not Sasha, and Xiaoyu tells her that he will stop bothering her. Shin gives him a new outfit and tells him to call her Shin instead. She then tells him not to follow her anymore, and they go their separate ways. Shin goes to work as an actress, and the director tells her that her stunt double can't make it, so she'll have to do the action scene herself. She fights off some killers, but things get complicated when the safety rope breaks and Shin falls off the roof. Xiaoyu comes along and saves her. He doesn't understand why she's being attacked, so she tries to tell him it's all made up. The disturbance makes the director angry, but after showing the video, he asks Xiaoyu if she wants to be a star. Shin decides to help Xiaoyu find a place to sleep now that the disaster has been stopped. But all he gets is the roof of her building, and the constant sounds of the city keep him up at night. Suddenly, Xiaoyu feels that Shin is in danger, so she runs to where Shin is. He runs into a group of rats who try to kill him, but he stops them by using some fire magic. The blast destroys the rats, and Xiaoyu finds a note from Kirin asking him to meet him if he wants to save Shin. Shin wakes up next to a bunch of rats, and Kirin returns to make fun of her again. He has his monkey give her a banana to make her stop talking, and then he thanks her for letting everything go the way it did. On the other hand, Xiaoyu sneaks past the police and makes his way to Shin. Kirin is happy that his plan worked, so he goes on a long rant about Xiaoyu's warrior clan's power. But Xiaoyu gets bored and knocks his opponent down without even thinking about it twice. On the other hand, Kirin lets loose his monkey, which turns into a giant beast to fight Xiaoyu. The monkey lands the first blow with his fists, but Xiaoyu stays calm and blocks his second attack. Xiaoyu uses his light magic to repeatedly attack the monkey by hitting it on the head. He starts to break through the monkey's mask, but Kirin plays dirty and stabs him in the back to put him at a disadvantage. Then, he sends out an army of rats by making them appear inside the monkey. Xiaoyu seems to have lost all hope as the rats trap him. While Kirin brags, Xiaoyu shoots through the rats and breaks his flute. Finally, he gets out of the prison and throws Kirin away. The following day, everyone hears terrible news about Kirin and his plans. The police catch Kirin, and the head inspector tells them what happened to the building, a cultural heritage site. Shin is looking at the news on her phone when Xiaoyu comes and talks to her. He hears about it on the news, but Shin tells him not to tell anyone what happened. Then, Shin gets a call from the director, and Xiaoyu remembers what happened the night before when Kirin told them about the secret treasure hunter group that is keeping a close eye on them. Xiaoyu looks worried about this, and he walks in on Ari as she is changing her clothes by accident. She screams, and Xiaoyu gets scared and takes photos by accident. Shin is busy with the lead actress, Sue, when he goes to see the director. Even though he tried hard, she said he would hear from her lawyer and left. The director then gives Shin the part of the lead actress and takes her to meet the producer. Xiaoyu tries to apologize to Ari, but Ari slaps him across the face for being a creep. He tries to tell a new friend that he didn't do anything wrong, but the new friend tells him that it's too late. They end up in a room full of different kinds of swords, which makes Xiaoyu's eyes light up with joy. Shin is persuaded by the director and producer, and after she signs the contract, the producer tells her that Hong, her own father, will be her new manager. Shin is totally against this, but she has already signed the contract, so it's too late. Sue is talking on the phone, and we hear that she was replaced because Shin's father was in the movie. Ari brings her costume, but she drops it, and Sue makes fun of her in front of everyone. Xiaoyu sees this and wants to help, but Shin comes rushing in and grabs his hand, which sets off their father's alarm system. Hong goes after Xiaoyu right away and asks what his relationship is with his daughter. But Xiaoyu was able to take his punch, which impresses him and makes him think of the captain he used to think he was. Later, Xiaoyu remembers some good times with his brother, but then he runs into Ari, who is being bothered by thugs. The men are trying to get money from her because her mother owes a lot of money to a mafia boss. Things are about to get messy, but Xiaoyu steps in at the right time and makes fun of the men by taking off their pants with a simple trick. He asks Ari if everything is okay, but she runs away crying. She meets a man who seems nice, and he takes her out to dinner. But when he spikes her drink, things take a bad turn. Ari wakes up in a hotel room, and we find out that the man who was having dinner with her is the boss of the mafia. He tries to get her to do what he wants, but she grabs a weapon and beats him until he dies. Ari can't believe she just killed someone, so she tries to end it all, but something strange stops her. This force calls itself the producer, and it seems to be drawn to Ari's strong hatred. He offers to give Ari everything she wants. Then, to Ari's surprise, the failed actress wakes up in Sue's body. Now we see an assassin from the treasure hunter company break Kieran out of jail and bring him to meet their boss. Once he gets here, Kieran tells them that Xiaoyu got out of a statue. This makes the boss want to find out more, because he thinks that if they can get to Xiaoyu, they will find a lot of treasures. But this video is over now. Tell me if you want to see more episodes of this show. Don't forget to like the channel and sign up for it. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.